I just woke up a couple minutes ago from a nap, and there's been some things on my mind here. One of them, well, some of them are personal. I won't really get into it. And the other one happens to be someone asking why my thoughts matter. And in short, I'm stuck between the older generation and the younger generation. And I've been through 10 years of the Army and 2 deployments. I've seen some things. Been through quite a bit. I mean, I am sitting right next to my house here that I bought with my money. And I've had some awesome help from my father to make the right choices to get to this far in life. And buying a house is not easy. Mortgages and all that. Loans, mortgages, whatever else that you need in order to buy your house. So, in the grand scheme of things, Human, Stardust. I'm trying to think of a few others. There's definitely some others. Barbar, who's someone I started listening to, he's put out some very good content. Also, he has been gone for quite a few years now. I want to say 2 years now. People that make you think. They're not exactly what the younger generation's looking for, but many of them just post memes and stuff like that. Considering the fact that I generally try to talk to the people who are younger, struggling, those who are still in like high school, like 20s and all that, and I do try to talk to those in the LGBT communities, the furry community, and basically places on Facebook where there's younger, struggling men. And unfortunately, the lack of adults, mentorship, and a lot of these younger men are growing up without what they need. And with all due respect, many of the women out there are growing up with tons of help, tons of resources that the men simply don't have. Now, as far as good parenting, I think that's been on the decline for a while now, and I've seen very few people who are online who have said that they come from stable backgrounds. The majority seem to be coming from a split, broken background, and honestly, I mean, I was adopted, so like, there's definitely some issues and problems there that I and my family and all, we all went through. Now, that's not to say it's the same thing as a broken home or anything like that, or missing out on a parent, but I understand a lot of what some of these younger people are going through. And I have to say that this is not really the place that I want to be, but I've been here and I've seen some results. And I'm doing the best I can with what I have. So, to basically answer the question here, I'm a curious mix. And I come from a solid background. I have a solid foundation, solid parents. There's a lot that people wish they had that I am grateful to have and to have come from. Loving parents and a good faith to start out on. I can't say that I share the same views as my parents, and I'm glad, because me and them, we've butted heads over quite a few things. And that's probably why we have such a strong relationship, is because we ended up arguing and fighting more than we ever wanted to. But in all seriousness, there's a lot that I bring to the table when it comes down to topics. The spiritual side, the Army side, and then there's the troubled side. And I want to add in the LGDB side. I know some people are going to be the whole correct with a Q at the end of it, but it's fine. It really is. It's honestly virtually the same thing, minus one letter. And I show them a lot of respect too, because in many regards, they're still people just like you and me, and they just ended up in a different area, and possibly with very different parents. Sometimes their parents just don't care. Sometimes they're missing a parent, and sometimes they've been through some crap and were encouraged in areas they should not have been encouraged in. Also, from what I found out, there's many people who grow up with wrong values that we, you, me, and other people have never grown up with. And I've seen this. I've seen a lot here that I do try to comment on. Maybe not directly, but I do try to comment on. I do try to deal with it, especially on Facebook, because I have tried looking for answers, and I've been questioning quite a bit, more so than men of my age. I'm getting to the point where there's a lot of men who are asking some of these questions, and they're too focused on work or families for the most part in order to do some searching for these answers. And on top of that, like, one of the other things that I bring to the table is stuff from a messed up. There is still a bit of a messed up part that I have to work on, and while I've had counseling and I'm definitely in a better place, those memories, some of the dumb things that I've done in the past, they're not just simply going to disappear or go away. And yet, as I'm finding out, I can pull examples for some of these. This is not a place that I want to be in. I don't necessarily want to be doing this, but I see the value in what I'm doing here. And to be honest, it's only going to grow. It just takes time, takes dedication. And hopefully when I get better equipment, I can use something other than my phone. I can actually have like a recording, like better recording equipment, like something where I could tape a microphone up next to my mouth and actually speak clearly and all that. Like, it'll be very nice when I can get to that stage. Right now, I'm not at that stage. And this is simply because I enjoy doing this sort of content. I don't enjoy talking about myself, but I also recognize there is a lot that I can bring that other people don't talk about. Christian side, the Army side, the messed up side, the LGBT, and all, and I want to say anything to do with adoption, really. I'm not well versed in that area as other people are, though, because that deals with quite a few laws. But when dealing with children who have attachment issues and all that, I've struggled with quite a bit of that. And attachment issues is something that I do know quite a bit about. And to be honest, there is a lot of that going on. In the dating pool, for example, people sleeping around, hopping into relationships with 1 foot in, 1 foot out, ready to hop out, the latest sign is trouble. Yeah, that's asking for a lot of trouble. Now, I have to say though, it seems like, seems like with the younger generation, some of the best advice passed along is personal experience and memes. Or black, what would they call that? Redonkulous and a few other people talk about the black jokes, the dark humor, the stuff where you're passing on some very very valid truths in some very dark ways. Yeah, it works too, especially if you need to keep your sanity in check and you need to try to find ways to make it through the day without falling apart. I've fallen apart multiple times and I put myself back together because I've had help. But I also had a deep burning anger where I refused to give up. I refused to let others say who I was actually come true. So for me, that was quite a bit. there's just quite a bit there that should be commented on. I would also like to say there's a lot that I am careful to talk about simply because of YouTube and all that. I can't really be free the way I want to be. And to be honest, there's a lot more I want to say to this about why my opinion matters. Now, I do have a bit of pride here, but it's not the unhealthy kind. It's the kind that I've made some hard choices in life that very few other people could make. Some of those are definitely military related too, employment and all that. Anyway, hopefully this answers the questions of why do I make these videos and why do I post when other people, better people, put out better content. Because they're not me, they haven't been in my shoes. And they're also they're not reaching the same crowd that I'm trying to reach too. Until next time.